Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope all of you are doing well. So, today I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite Kevin Smith films. Now, when it comes to Kevin Smith's filmography, there are some movies I do like, and others I really don't care too much for, or I haven't seen and really have no interest for. But there's one that has always stood out for me. Now, I love Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, one of my all time favorites. And another all time favorite of mine is the very underrated but has mixed opinions, Jason Amy. But this one is definitely on the top of the list, and that is none other than Dogma, which was released, I believe, in 1998. It's a late 90s film, and it has a extraordinary cast who have worked with Kevin Smith on either previous films or would continue to work with him in future films not too long after this release. We have the late great Alan Rickman. We have Chris Rock, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, who tend to show up in Kevin Smith's movies here and there. We also have Selma Hayek, Jason Lee. Basically, we have two angels played by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon who have been banished from heaven, but they find a loophole. The only issue is that this would basically cause, basically anybody in the world, it would cease to exist. It would basically wipe out and extinct everybody. So God chooses this woman, Bethany, played by Linda. I'm sure I'm going to pronounce this really bad. Fiorentino. This actress right here, who, to be honest, you really don't see a whole lot nowadays. I don't know if she retired from acting or if she is, but she's just doing limited projects. I haven't really seen her since this film. But she's basically chosen to stop these two, and throughout the process, she comes across Jay and Silent Bob, who kind of help her in a situation and basically join with her. Chris Rock basically falls from the sky, like seriously, um, and goes, ends up joining this journey with them. And then, of course, they meet with Selma Hayek. They got to deal with Jason Lee's character, who's a demon. Selma Hayek is fantastic in this movie. She hasn't aged a day in her life. And there's some really great moments in this film, especially when they're at the strip club and you basically have a shit demon. Like, seriously, it's a monster creature looking thing full of poop. And it's funny because Jason Mewes' line when this creature busts the door from the bathroom, he's like, "Who fucking farted?" And you know, I know I shouldn't curse in my videos because YouTube has a big thing, but I try to limit certain things when it comes to like movie reviews or just talking about a film in general. But that line has me laughing every time I watch this film. Every time. You do have I wouldn't say a cameo, but George Carlin does have a few scenes. George Carlin, it's always great to see him. Sadly, he's no longer with us, but I've always enjoyed the work he has done. There's still other films in his filmography I have yet to watch, but I've always been a fan of his, and I've always enjoyed the work that he has done. And of course, you got Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Chris Rock. They have done a lot. They have some great films and films not so much. Chris Rock, part of one of my favorite SNL cast. Back in the 90s, I've always been a fan of Chris Rock. Again, some of his movies are hit and miss. Alan Rickman is fantastic in this. I feel like between him, Jason Mewes, Kevin Smith, and Chris Rock, I feel like they're like the show stealers in this film because everything that they are given when it comes to their lines, it's fantastic. It's like the timing is perfect for them, especially Alan Rickman. Um, So yeah, definitely a recommendation for sure. Just like the whole atmosphere to this, it's definitely has its moments. The score to this I think is great, and all in all, I think it's just a very interesting film. I feel like it's very underrated. Even though we all know about Dogma, I still feel like there are a lot of people who don't talk about it, or just you really have never stated their opinion, at least from what I've seen. But yeah, I'm very happy that this movie is finally seeing the light of day of a 4K release. There is a Blu-ray. It went out of print pretty quick and was anywhere from 70 to over $100. But now that a lot of the Weinstein properties are going back to, those who owned the rights to it originally before they sold it, or they're going to other studios. We're starting to see films finally get those Blu-ray releases, and Dogma is finally getting that 4K release. Kevin Smith was able to get the rights back, and now we're getting a 4K release. Like I said, I can't say that enough. Umbrella Entertainment is releasing it, which is awesome. They're also doing Freaked with the Alex Winter film. Those are definitely two on my wish list. But yeah, I could not recommend Dogma enough. Just with a great cast, a great story, a great atmosphere, a lot of entertaining moments, a lot of serious moments. It's definitely worth the watch. There's one scene, I'm not going to get too far into detail, but there's a scene with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon when they go into this meeting at this like corporation, and it's that whole scene is crazy. Highly recommend it. But yeah, I wish I could say more that hasn't been said, but what can you say about Dogma? I'm excited to see how the 4K is going to be when it comes out, how the picture quality is going to look. I'm sure it's going to look as good as it can, and yeah, uh, there's not a whole lot I can say, but I'll give you guys a closer look at the DVD. This is like the standard release of it. They've had multiple releases of this DVD, ranging from anywhere to this double-sided disc to having artwork on the disc, and then of course I got a Blu-ray release that kind of came and went, and you know now we're getting another a re-release, but in a better format. So I'm pretty excited. But yeah, that's my review and my thoughts on Dogma. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you've seen Dogma, I would love to hear your guys' opinion on the film. What do you think of it? What is your favorite Kevin Smith film? What's your least favorite Kevin Smith film? I would love to hear what you guys think of just his universe of films. I still have a lot to get when it comes to his films. I still have yet to see Clerks 3. I've only seen bits and pieces, so that's definitely on my list of future watches. But with that being said, I'm Film Talk with Mikey. You guys know the drill. Till next time, we'll talk movies, films, whatever it may be. You guys have a good one. Take care, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.